I spent the last day of the year at home, flipping through channels aimlessly. I'd nearly worn out the remote, but nothing on TV caught my interest. Bored out of my mind, I ended up zoning out in front of the screen until midnight. Just as the countdown wrapped up, Lucy's video call came through, accompanied by cheerful Happy New Year messages. I answered the call, smiling, "Happy New Year, babe. May the new year rain blessings on you." Lucy's laughter rang through the phone as she responded, "I like that wish. Thanks, Vanessa." I grinned. Right now, Lucy was on the other side of the ocean. Every year her family spent New Year's abroad, and this year was no exception. She even managed to stay up despite the time difference to ring in the new year with me. In the spirit of celebration, we started talking about our hopes for the future, like making $2 million without lifting a finger, or finally finding love next year. I was getting really into it and confidently declared, "Next year, I'm going to win over your uncle." Lucy rolled her eyes and laughed. "You've been saying that for years. Just how far have you gotten?" I grinned proudly. "We're practically married, except that we haven't met yet." She just rolled her eyes again. Too done with me to respond. In a great mood, I started fantasizing about where Vincent and I would be buried together. Lucy's uncle Vincent was a senior at my university, and I'd fallen for him at first sight. The first time I saw him was when he came by to drop something off for Lucy. The moment he left, I grabbed Lucy by the collar and demanded, "Why didn't you tell me about such a handsome boyfriend? Are we even best friends?" She must have been dizzy from all my shaking, because she quickly held me back. Wait. Who told you he was my boyfriend? He's my uncle." I froze, still holding on to her, my smile a bit forced. "Uncle? He doesn't look that old." Lucy rolled her eyes and sighed. "Who says uncles have to be old? He's only a generation older. He's just one grade above us." That's how I found out Vincent was indeed a senior at our school, and even a popular figure. I bombarded Lucy with questions about him for hours that day. That was 5 years ago. Every year I say I'll go after him, and every year I lose my nerve. But it doesn't stop me from talking big about it. Just as I was really getting into it, a sudden burst of noise came from Lucy's end. "Huh, what's going on over there?" I looked at the screen, but Lucy's side was pitch black. I shook my phone and called her name several times, but there was no response. I muttered to myself, did she lose signal? Just as I was about to end the call, the screen suddenly lit up again. And there he was, my ultimate crush, Lucy's uncle, looking straight into the camera with a grin. "I hear you want to chase me? All right, I'm coming back tomorrow. I'll give you a shot." With that, he ended the call, leaving me staring blankly at my phone for a good while before managing a single word. What? I was in a daze all night, unable to process what had happened. In the morning, I sluggishly got out of bed, hoping some music might lift my spirits. Just then I noticed a message from Lucy. "Vanessa, pick us up at the airport at 4 p.m. Seeing her message, I panicked immediately. I'd just been joking around. Are they really taking me seriously? Frantically, I searched for Lucy's number and dialed, but I was met with a message saying she was out of service, probably already on the plane. As I thought about Vincent's ridiculously handsome face, I nearly wanted to cry. "Vincent, you've got to let me explain." Unable to reach her, I procrastinated all day, but finally ended up at the airport anyway. Just a bit past 4 p.m., Lucy called, her voice as loud and full of energy as always. "Vanessa, where are you?" Hiding in a corner, I whispered, "Is Vincent with you?" "Nope." She answered so smoothly I didn't doubt her for a second. And I cheered up immediately, calling out, "Wait for me. I'm coming over for a hug." As long as Vincent wasn't around, I could own this whole place. The arrivals area was full of people greeting their loved ones. When I spotted Lucy's vibrant figure, I ran over and practically threw myself at her with a huge hug. "Welcome home. See that? She loves me the most," Lucy joked, turning to say something to someone right behind her. I instinctively looked and froze. Why was Vincent here too? Still wrapped around Lucy, my arms and legs went rigid. I had no idea what to do. Then Lucy's parents smiled and said, "You two take care of Vanessa. We're heading home." I stood there, speechless. If embarrassment could kill, I'd be long gone by now. Her parents left quickly, and I awkwardly slid off Lucy, standing there obediently, not daring to say a word. "Give me the car keys. I'll take you two to eat," Vincent said, stretching out his hand toward me. Nervous, my palms started to sweat. His hand was open, his fingers long and clean, his palm lines distinct. It was the kind of hand that looked like it was made just for me. My mind blanked, and before I knew it, I'd put my hand in his open palm. Lucy and I both froze. Realizing what I'd just done, my face instantly flushed, and I tried to pull my hand back, but he held on to it. Vincent looked down at me, his handsome face softened with a gentle smile. "Got it, let her drive." That was absolutely not what I meant. Lucy's piercing glare was burning into me, and I was on the brink of tears. "Please, could someone let me explain?" In the end, Vincent was the one driving us. Lucy and I sat in the back, whispering conspiratorially. "You traitor. We swore that we never lie to each other. Now you totally tricked me." She'd assured me her uncle wouldn't be coming. "Blame him. He made me say that," Lucy replied easily, completely shifting the blame onto Vincent. Then she gave me a sly wink. "This is your shot. You've hesitated for 5 years. If you don't go for it now, even I can't bear to watch." But I'm not ready yet," I stammered, nervous and too embarrassed to meet her eyes. Lucy snorted softly. 5 years and you're still not ready? Yep, classic Lucy. No one gets to my weak spots like she does. "Make the most of this chance," she said in a hushed, exasperated tone. "Seriously, try to become my aunt already, okay?" I nodded distractedly, only to glance up and catch Vincent watching us in the rearview mirror, his expression unreadable. I couldn't tell how long he'd been listening, or how much he'd heard, but my face was already heating up. From the airport to downtown, my heart didn't settle for a second. I was so anxious that I was practically trembling. This was Vincent, my ultimate crush. What if he tries to talk to me, and I freeze up? What if I say something dumb, and he ends up hating me? Oh, please, someone save me. I just want to go home. I'm not ready to have dinner with him. Out. Vincent's voice suddenly broke through my spiraling thoughts as the car came to a stop. I jumped, immediately reaching for the door handle. Could my prayers have been answered? Was I actually going to get out of this? "Vanessa, hold on." Vincent's voice was calm and clear, like a cool stream. "You get out," he said, nodding in Lucy's direction. I blinked. Lucy was clearly shocked. "Uncle, where's your sense of fairness?" "I don't have one," Vincent replied smoothly, making Lucy practically combust on the spot. I tried to hold in my laughter, my shoulders shaking with the effort. "Fine," she said with a huff, throwing an arm around me in a final show of defiance. "Maybe I'll just kidnap her and leave you out here to fend for yourself." Vincent turned around with a meaningful look. "Don't make me repeat myself." I nudged Lucy, silently urging her to stand her ground, but she surrendered, rolling her eyes. "Vanessa, watch yourself. He's definitely up to something," she said with a sympathetic look, then ducked out of the car before her uncle could kick her out himself. I clung to the window, watching her leave with a pleading look. Why didn't she take me with her? After Lucy left, the car was so silent it felt like a quiet winter's night. I shrank into my seat, nervous, my palms damp with sweat. I wanted to disappear. "Let's get out," Vincent said, turning to me with a smile. In a flash of nerves, I blurted out, "Are you letting me go home?" "Oh no, what am I saying?" I wanted to sink into the seat from embarrassment, but Vincent just chuckled and shook his head. Am I really that terrifying? He wasn't terrifying at all. In fact, he was a dream come true, right down to every detail. The issue was this was my first time alone with my crush, and my nerves were off the charts. "No, thank you." "No, wait, you're not scary at all. I like you a lot." "No, I mean, I don't dislike you. Just let's pretend I didn't say anything." I covered my face in embarrassment. Lesson learned. Never be alone with your crush. You might end up spouting nonsense. Feeling like an ostrich, I wished I could just bury myself somewhere. But Vincent's warm laugh filled the quiet car. "I know you like me," he said. "So, may I have the honor of inviting you to dinner?" My cheeks turned bright red, and I glanced up, finding myself lost in his warm gaze. "Shall we?" "Of course, yes." I nodded shyly, unable to help the big smile on my face. Thank goodness he didn't mind my awkwardness. Vincent chose the restaurant, a quiet, elegant place with a cozy, welcoming vibe. What would you like? He handed me the menu, signaling for me to choose, but I decided it was safest to keep it simple and shook my head. Anything is fine. After all, when you're having dinner with your crush, everything tastes a little sweeter. With a knowing smile, he took the menu back and ordered. When the food arrived, I noticed he'd picked all of my favorites. Did he do some research on me? I stole a glance at him, sitting there calm and collected, his gentle smile giving away nothing. We both started speaking at once, and I quickly waved for him to go first. He raised his glass with a warm smile. So, what you said last night still stand? Was he encouraging me to pursue him? My face flushed, and I quickly looked down. I was just joking around, but I think it's sweet, very honest of you. Suddenly, he placed a big drumstick in my bowl with a smile. Salt-baked, just the way you like it. Go ahead and enjoy. The aroma hit me immediately. But I was so worried about making a good impression that I didn't dare to eat messily in front of him. I snuck a peek at Vincent, who was handling his meal with effortless grace, while I was a bundle of nerves. Part of me scolded myself, yet the food was too tempting to resist. Wait, how does he know I love salt-baked? You don't like it? Noticing I hadn't started eating, Vincent looked at me curiously, and I quickly nodded. No, I love it. I had to keep up a ladylike appearance in front of him. I'm glad. He smiled, eating with elegance, while I cautiously started to eat, taking small bites. And before I knew it, I started thinking of the times when Lucy and I would wolf down food together. Why didn't she take me with her this time? Vanessa? Just as Vincent and I were making small talk, someone called my name. I looked up to see a group of my coworkers nearby. They seemed to be on a group outing, glancing between me and Vincent with curious looks. Oh my gosh, Vanessa, is this handsome guy your boyfriend? Of course not. I shook my head quickly, wanting to make things clear. Vincent wouldn't want me making false claims about him. But my colleagues just giggled and teased. Well, if he's not, why not introduce us? I froze, unsure how to respond. Then one of them leaned over with a coy grin. Hey, handsome, can I get your number? I clenched my fists. These shameless flirts. I'd only meant to be humble, and now they were trying to pounce right in front of me? I was just about to chase them off when Vincent's calm voice broke in. I have a girlfriend. The group fell silent, and I completely stunned. Wait. He has a girlfriend. My colleagues quickly dispersed, but my appetite disappeared along with them. So all this time I'd been quietly admiring him. He'd already moved on in silence. I could only imagine his girlfriend, kind, beautiful and graceful, no doubt. I poked listlessly at my food, the chicken leg now tasteless, and when he offered to take me to a movie, I politely declined. Now that I knew he was taken, I couldn't shamelessly cling to him or indulge in silly fantasies like I'd done with Lucy before. On the way home, I didn't dare say a word. Once back, I immediately started a video call with Lucy, grumbling, "Why didn't you tell me your uncle has a girlfriend? I just made a fool of myself." Does he? Lucy raised an eyebrow, and I could hear her parents in the background saying no. They're still trying to set him up on blind dates. There you go. He's absolutely single, Lucy smirked, giving me a playful wink. I'm totally on your side, don't worry. But if Vincent didn't have a girlfriend, then why did he say that at dinner? Just as I was turning the whole thing over in my mind, Vincent's call came through. Vanessa, I'd like to ask you a favor. My family's pressuring me to settle down, and I was hoping you might pose as my girlfriend. I wanted to bring it up over dinner, but you didn't seem in the best mood. So he's really single after all. Of course, if you're uncomfortable, I can always ask someone else. In the seconds it took me to consider, Vincent assumed I didn't want to do it, and mentioned finding someone else. Suddenly, I panicked. How could I let him ask anyone else for this? Of course, no problem, I said quickly, laughing and nodding eagerly. Anything you need me to prepare? No need, I'll pick you up when the time comes. His warm laugh filled my ear, his voice lighthearted. Then it's settled. I'll pick you up after the holidays. Definitely. Honestly, I'd be thrilled to pretend to be his girlfriend, or even be his girlfriend for real. Not long after, Vincent called me. My parents really want to meet you, so they specifically asked me to invite you over. he said with a soft laugh. I'll be at your place in an hour. Do you have time? Yes. I'll get ready right away. An hour would be just enough. I hurriedly washed my hair, threw on a quick layer of makeup, and picked out a nice outfit. Just as I finished, Vincent arrived downstairs. You look exceptionally beautiful today, he said, smiling like a spring breeze as he handed me a large bouquet of roses. A flower for someone who outshines it. I took the roses, cheeks flushed. He really knew how to make me blush. I should get something for your parents, I offered, feeling shy about arriving empty-handed, even if I was just pretending to be his girlfriend. Vincent graciously opened the car door and gestured to the back seat. I've already taken care of it. In the back seat, there was a pile of gift boxes. Looked like he'd thought of everything. We chatted on the drive over, swapping stories to make sure we were on the same page in case his parents asked us any questions. When we finally arrived, I saw that Lucy was already there. Vanessa. Lucy greeted me with such enthusiasm that I staggered back a few steps, almost tripping. Vincent caught me firmly. Careful, that's your auntie you're jumping on, Vincent said coolly, barely missing a beat as he signaled for Lucy to call me by my new title. Lucy winked at me mischievously and sweetly called, Auntie. For a moment, I almost wanted to embrace this new role and take advantage of it. I pinched her soft waist playfully and replied, Good girl. From now on, Auntie will spoil you. Mom, Dad, this is my girlfriend, Vanessa. Vincent introduced me to everyone in the living room. There were several of his relatives present, and Lucy, still holding my arm, grinned as she added, She's my best friend. Super reliable, and definitely a good match for our family. Just look at those hips, she'll be great for giving us babies. I could only wonder if it would be a crime to strangle her. My face was already burning from embarrassment, and I couldn't lift my head for the life of me. But the relatives were all laughing happily. Vanessa, come sit here, Vincent's mother said warmly. She was older, but had aged gracefully, and radiated a refined elegance. She took my hand, guiding me to sit beside her, and the other aunts and uncles began bombarding me with questions. I responded politely, keeping up with their chatter, and they seemed pleased. Vincent's relatives began heaping on the praise. Vincent, you really found yourself a gem. You two are such a good match for each other. You'll be married by the end of this year, and we'll have twins by next. This is all so wonderful. The chatter continued, with Vincent's mom beaming beside me as I sat there, lips pressed into a polite smile. This wasn't a place for a newcomer like me to interject. I could only listen. Didn't I say Vanessa was a perfect match for my uncle? Lucy grinned, scooting closer. Vincent's mother nodded approvingly. Such a lovely girl. She should have been brought home years ago. What did that mean? I looked at Vincent, confused. He just gave me a little wink, indicating I should let it go. I nodded, catching on. His mom was clearly thrilled at the thought of a daughter-in-law. But really, if Vincent had brought someone else home years ago, then where would that have left me? But Vincent's mom clearly had something more to say. Don't doubt me, she continued. I'm telling you, Vincent has liked you for a long time. Now that you've agreed to meet his family, why don't we settle the wedding plans? Vincent's mom gave me a hopeful smile. Any request for a dowry, just name it. Wait, what? Mom, it's Vanessa's first time here. Shouldn't you be setting up dinner? Vincent smoothly redirected the conversation. His mom shot him a glare, but despite her reluctance, she got up and smiled at me. Vanessa, I meant every word. Think carefully about my suggestion. We can work everything out together. Of course, Auntie, I nodded obediently, figuring it was best to agree to everything for now. Vincent's mom looked warm and caring, and his dad, though mostly quiet, had a friendly smile and treated me kindly. If they were my real in-laws, I'd be very lucky indeed. That evening, Vincent's mom prepared a feast, all my favorite dishes too. I was starting to feel a bit guilty. If they knew I was only pretending to be his girlfriend, would they resent me? Dinner left me feeling uneasy, caught between their warmth and my guilt. Afterward, I tried to politely excuse myself, but his mom insisted I stay the night. Oh, Auntie, I really don't want to trouble you. Just then Lucy chimed in. It's settled, you're staying over. Was she kidding? Vincent's mom beamed, gently pulling me upstairs. You and Lucy will stay here tonight. I love having a full house. I felt terrible imposing on her. But Lucy, ever the extrovert, grinned and called out, Vanessa, let's make it a night. I shook my head frantically. It was one thing to let loose with Lucy, but in Vincent's house, my calm, composed image would be ruined. Vincent's mom set me up in the room next to his. Before leaving, Lucy shot me a mischievous wink. Tonight's the night, girl. Go for it with my uncle. I could have cried from embarrassment. My face went scarlet as I noticed Vincent watching us. Amusement clear on his face. Lucy turned around and gasped when she saw him standing there. Uncle, good idea, he commented, nodding approvingly before stepping aside to let her pass. Lucy bolted down the hall, and I stood there, my mind spiraling with questions. Did Vincent mean what I thought he did? Get a good night's sleep, he said, leaving me to wonder, rolling around on the bed, completely unable to decipher his thoughts. Suddenly, my company chat started buzzing. There was an announcement that the company was under new ownership and entering a new chapter with updated policies. The replies underneath were full of flattery and praise, and I scrolled briefly before trying to settle in. But then my manager sent a message. I was expected to review files in my email that needed to be ready for the new leadership. So now I was the only fool on call during an overnight stay at a friend's? My boss was relentless, so I had no choice but to go and borrow a laptop from Vincent. He handed it over easily, and to show my sincerity, I sat in his study to handle the work. But the moment I turned it on, a giant picture of a woman's face appeared on the screen. Staring back at me was a young, vibrant girl with a bright smile and eyes full of life. If I wasn't mistaken, it was me, from 2 or 3 years ago. And it was a photo I'd never even seen before. I glanced at Vincent, baffled, and noticed his ears turning red as he cleared his throat. You know, it's all part of the act, he mumbled. Right, like I believe that. The photo was only a side profile, taken discreetly from a distance. He must have snapped it without me even noticing. But I kept my cool, smiling and nodding. Got it. I totally understand. It didn't matter if he was too shy to admit it. As long as my dream guy felt the same way, I'd take the next 99 steps to meet him. Vincent quickly turned his attention to his phone, pretending not to notice me, but I couldn't help grinning as I watched his ears burning red. My heart was racing. I'd caught him with a secret photo of me. Taking a deep breath to calm myself, I got to work, glancing at him now and then. Even from the side, he was ridiculously handsome. His long lashes, the curve of his jawline, everything about him was perfect. This man was everything I'd ever dreamed of. Then Vincent's mom walked in, carrying a plate of fruit. I brought some snacks. I quickly minimized the screen, taking the plate from her with both hands. But she gave me a curious look. Haven't changed the wallpaper yet? Vincent's head shot up, and he moved toward the computer. But sensing he was trying to keep something under wraps, I casually blocked him and turned to his mom with a smile. Oh, you know about it? Of course. Mom. Vincent interrupted hastily, his cheeks flushing again as his mom gave him a playful scold. Vincent, no need to be shy in front of Vanessa. She's your girlfriend after all. Vincent was completely red by now. His mom beamed at me. Vincent has really liked you for a while. This picture's been there for almost 3 years. Her words confirmed the timeline I'd guessed. I gave Vincent an amused look, and he turned away, his face pink, mumbling, Mom. Vanessa's got work to do. Let's not keep her chatting all day. All right, I'll leave you two alone, she said, smiling as she left. The second the door closed, Vincent tried to make an escape, but I quickly grabbed his arm. This was my chance, and there was no way I'd let him go. Smiling sweetly, I teased, so Mr. Secretive, care to explain why you're hiding my picture? It wasn't exactly normal behavior, now was it? Vincent's face turned crimson again as he muttered. Well, if you want an explanation, here it is. The day you decide to capture me, I'm all yours. I couldn't believe he just used my own words against me. Vincent, I'm right here, he said, lowering his head closer to mine, his gaze soft yet intense. Remember on New Year's Eve, when you said you wanted to capture me? Well, I told you, just one word from you, and I'd be yours. No questions asked. Now it was my turn to blush. My heart raced as I looked away, but he gently tilted my chin back, forcing me to meet his gaze. His dark eyes were filled with warmth and a depth of feeling that left me breathless. Vanessa, I'm all yours for the taking. So, do you want to? There was no way I could pass this up. Face burning, I nodded quickly. Just don't take it back. I'm not so easy to win over. I bit my lip, trying to steady my pounding heart. He looked at me, serious and sincere. I'm in for the long haul. And as he nodded, my heart felt like it would melt. This was everything I'd dreamed of. Did it work out? Lucy barely waited for me to step into view the next morning before those words came tumbling out of her mouth. I couldn't help but grin. Is it that obvious? Let's just say the cloud of romance is so thick I could smell it from 800 meters away, she replied, scrunching her nose. You've got that love-struck smile plastered all over you. Oh, someone's jealous, I teased, though I knew she wasn't completely wrong. I probably hadn't stopped smiling all night. She rolled her eyes. Your uncle said he's on probation. You know, a trial period to see if you two are a fit for something long-term. That was the agreement Vincent and I had come to last night. Before we got too serious, we'd give things time and make sure everything felt right. Just then, I heard steady footsteps behind us. Vincent's voice followed. Be respectful to your aunt. Lucy's lips turned downward into a dramatic pout as I smirked, leaning toward her. You heard him. Let's hear you call me auntie. You two are ganging up on me, she wailed, clinging to my arm in mock despair. Vanessa, I regret this. Let's run off together. You and me, just like before. I ruffled her hair with a sympathetic smile, about to assure her that Auntie would take good care of her. But Vincent was already lifting her away, ignoring her whines. You try to get Vanessa to leave, and I'll be on the phone with your parents arranging some blind dates. Lucy's face twisted into defeat as she gave up, sulking over her breakfast. Fine. You win. As Vincent took a seat beside me, bringing over my coffee and some toast, I felt my heart melt. A sweet, attentive boyfriend? Yes, please. On the 4th day of the new year, Vincent offered to drive me to the office. Lucy tried to tag along, but he waved the car keys at her dismissively. You're on your own. Vanessa. Uncle. Lucy gasped in disbelief, glaring at us. You're totally ditching me for each other. Traitors. In response, all she got was a puff of exhaust smoke. Watching her fade in the rearview mirror, I felt a twinge of sympathy. You don't think we were a little harsh, do you? Vincent arched an eyebrow. I can always call her parents and arrange a suitor for her. I didn't say anything. Vincent's lips curved in satisfaction as he glanced over at me during a red light. Who needs a third wheel around? Blushing furiously, I gave a nervous cough. This all felt like a dream. It wasn't long before we reached my office. He parked and took my hand, giving it a gentle squeeze and a knowing smile. We'll be seeing each other again soon. What did he mean by that? He didn't explain, and I could only watch as his car merged into the flow of traffic. Checking my reflection, I hurriedly tried to fix my makeup. My eyes sparkled a little too brightly, and my lips looked, well, let's just say they'd clearly been kissed. A cold breeze calmed me down before I went inside, greeted by my warm colleagues with smiles and New Year's greetings. I barely sat down before my manager rushed over, urging everyone to gather in the meeting room. The new CEO's here. Let's give him a warm welcome. Reluctantly, I stood up and joined the crowd. But the sight that awaited me on stage left me speechless. There was Vincent, in a dark custom-tailored suit, and even wearing the tie I'd picked out for him. He was here in my office, standing at the podium. My Vincent was our new boss, and he hadn't said a word. Vincent was on stage giving a brief introduction, but I was utterly bewildered in the audience. A colleague bumped into me, making me wince in pain. A few women from the restaurant encountered the other day were seated nearby, and they exchanged excited glances. Isn't that your friend? One of them exclaimed. Turns out he's our CEO. Vanessa, you have to look out for us from now on. Another chimed in. Did he break up with his girlfriend? Vanessa, introduce him to us. We're totally interested. Yeah, a diamond bachelor like him is a rare find. Their incessant chatter was driving me nuts. If it weren't for the fact that Vincent had just taken the helm, I would have definitely put these women in their place. But they weren't done yet. After the meeting wrapped up, Vincent was quickly surrounded by executives, making it impossible for me to approach him. Meanwhile, those women clung to me like leeches, clamoring to find a way to connect with him, while conveniently ignoring the fact that he already had a girlfriend. I felt my temper flare. Unable to hold back, I snapped, "Who said I'm not interested in him? Did I ever say that to you?" That managed to quiet them down for a moment. But they quickly retaliated. "Didn't you say you and he weren't involved? Right. You're not just looking to get close to him, because he's the CEO now, are you? Trying to become the CEO's wife? Vanessa, you should really have some shame." Their disdain felt like a slap in the face, as if they were branding me a homewrecker. I was furious, but decided to confront them head-on. "Do you want to know who his girlfriend is? I'll tell you, it's me. If you don't believe me, just go ask him yourself." With that bold statement, the room fell silent. But word of Vincent and me being a couple spread quickly throughout the office. Even the department manager approached me with a beaming smile, praising how we looked like a perfect match. I was completely at a loss for words. Here I was actually dating Vincent, yet the rest of the office seemed more invested in it than we were. That morning, Vincent called me. "Vanessa, since the news is already out, why don't we just announce it officially?" No need for that. He'd just started in his new role. There was no reason to make our relationship into gossip fodder. Vincent didn't press further, instead suggesting, "How about lunch in the cafeteria?" "Sure, I'm in. This I could definitely do." The lunch bell rang, and I hurried to the cafeteria to secure a table. With so many people in the company, it was usually packed, and given Vincent's status, I couldn't let him struggle through the crowd with me. To my surprise, those same women from earlier followed me. I was focused on getting a seat and tried to ignore them, but they began their taunts again. "Vanessa, with all the rumors flying around and the CEO not saying a word, how can you still claim to be his girlfriend? We've worked together for 2 years, and I didn't know you had a special connection." Haha, well said. Their mockery just grated on my nerves, but I couldn't stoop to their level. They followed me into the cafeteria, where they spotted Vincent waiting for me by the entrance. As soon as they saw him, their attitude completely changed. "Mr. Vincent, you're eating in the cafeteria too? Can we sit here? Mr. Vincent, you're so approachable. We really appreciate a CEO like you." These women were notorious for buttering up the management, and I had gotten used to their quick mood swings. "There's someone sitting here already," Vincent replied darkly, clearly having overheard their previous remarks. "Vanessa, come here." He waved me over, and I felt a rush of warmth as he took my hand and smiled at me. "I've been waiting for you. I ordered all your favorite dishes." I stepped closer, feeling grateful. Vincent truly understood me and had taken the time to remember what I liked. I couldn't help but notice the expressions on my colleagues' faces turning dark with envy. One brave woman asked Mr. Vincent, "What's your relationship with Vanessa?" "Girlfriend," he stated firmly, squeezing my hand. "I bought this company to take care of you. There's no way I'm letting you be bullied." "Wait, he bought the company for me." A wave of emotions flooded over me, and I tightened my grip on his hand in response. The women's faces turned from smug to panicked, and they quickly shook their heads. "Vanessa, we were just joking earlier." "Yeah, we were trying to congratulate you on having such a great boyfriend." They forced smiles, attempting to save face, but I wouldn't let them continue to harass me or make a move on my boyfriend. "Thanks, but no need," I replied coldly, eyeing their pale faces. "Did you think I wouldn't catch on to your two-faced antics? You thought I was stupid? You were just so confident earlier. Care to keep talking now that you've met the CEO? Too bad for you. It's too late." Had Vincent and I not been together, I would have been a prime target for their taunts today. Thankfully, I was his girlfriend, and he was more than willing to defend me. I heard everything. The company doesn't support freeloaders, especially those who love to gossip. "Go to HR and collect your severance," he said with a frown. "I'm aware of the company's situation, and I've reviewed the staff. You clearly don't belong here." The women were promptly fired. Vincent wasn't just acting for my sake. They had been slacking off at work, using their words to charm their way through while pocketing high salaries. News of the new CEO getting fired up for his girlfriend quickly spread throughout the company, But I pretended not to notice as I settled into a cozy lunch with Vincent at his exclusive table. You don't have to save seats anymore. We can just eat over here from now on, he suggested. The table was filled with all my favorite dishes, far more exquisite than what the cafeteria usually offered. Noticing my surprise, he smiled and explained, I had a chef come in to prepare lunch, making sure you'll be well fed. Did he not realize that girls usually prefer to be slim and elegant? Being well fed sounded more like something for a chubby toddler. But the gesture was sweet, so I decided to let him spoil me this time. No one dared to interrupt us at the special table, and we exchanged quiet laughter and light conversation, enjoying the moment. Then Vincent suddenly asked, Vanessa, when are you going to arrange for me to meet your parents? I've already prepared gifts. So soon? I was taken aback, but he playfully tapped my forehead. You've taken advantage of me. Now you don't want to give me a title? Wait, wasn't it him who said I should try to win him over, claiming he was easy to impress? I chuckled nervously. I'll set it up soon. The thought of my boyfriend wanting to meet my parents made me giddy. I had to be clever about it. If he decided to run away, I'd have nowhere to cry. Before I could even make the call, my mom video called me first. Just tell me, when are you going to find a boyfriend? My mom's booming voice made me scramble to lower the volume. A typical mom move. No mercy whatsoever. What are you panicking for? She was sharp-eyed and immediately noticed something was off with me. Squinting suspiciously, she asked, Tell me, have you spent another year as single that no one wants? I suddenly found myself at a loss for words. But then I remembered. Wait, I have a boyfriend now. Thinking of my precious Vincent gave me the confidence I needed. Mom, I do have someone. I proudly lifted my chin, causing Vincent to chuckle beside me. But my mom's expression was still that of a detective on a case. I remember you saying the same thing last year. Then you came home, and even the village dogs were friendlier with you. Vanessa, if really no one wants you, I'll help you find a matchmaker. Oh, the sting of those words from my own mother was sharp. I tugged at my hair in frustration, unsure how to break the news about Vincent. Just then, Vincent leaned in with a cheerful smile. Looking at the camera, Auntie, do you think I'd be a good match for Vanessa? Both my mom and I were momentarily stunned. But in less than 2 seconds, she lit up and nodded enthusiastically. Of course, yes. I think it's perfect. I couldn't help but think Vincent and I were indeed an excellent match. Well then, Vanessa, you should hurry and bring your boyfriend home to meet us and start planning for the wedding. My mom's exuberance left me speechless. Is it really necessary to rush things? Just look at your age. Her disdainful gaze was ever present, and I turned to Vincent confused. Am I really that old? Vincent smiled and ruffled my hair. To every mom eager for their child to get married, their kid is always the old maid who can't find a partner. I agreed with that. Sure, I could bring Vincent home, but I wasn't in any rush to get married. But things don't always go as planned. Who would have thought Vincent would show up at my house with the household registration book, and that he couldn't hold his liquor? After just 3 drinks, he was out cold and insisting on going to get our marriage certificate. My parents handed me the registration book at lightning speed, giving me looks that said I'd hit the jackpot. I was completely at a loss. Why was everyone acting like this? I figured the marriage registration office bureau wouldn't allow a drunken person to get married. But to my surprise, as soon as we stepped through the door, Vincent sobered up. The longest road I'd ever walked was the one paved with Vincent's tricks. Since we were there, it felt wrong not to get the certificate. So the plan of marrying at least 3 years down the line suddenly turned into us getting the certificate in just 3 months. Vincent held the red book with a goofy grin, while I was left feeling frustrated. You're tricking me into marriage. He clearly wasn't drunk, yet he pretended to be tipsy on purpose. A man can't get drunk, or how can a woman seize the opportunity? Vincent grinned as he pulled me into his embrace. You've wanted to tie me down for a long time, and I've said before, if it's you, I'll be tipsy after just half a glass. I finally got my official status. I thought he was joking, but then he played it straight. Darling, a kiss, don't pout now. Tonight, let's see how you want to handle things, okay? His kisses fell like gentle raindrops on my lips, sweet as honey and spring flowers. I wasn't really mad at him. So after a moment, I playfully replied, "Then I'll punish you by making you sleep on the sofa tonight." He made a face of despair. "Can we save the sofa for tomorrow?" "Why?" "Because getting our certificate today is like our wedding night. Every moment is worth a fortune." He was being silly, and I couldn't help but blush at his words. I had finally married him, the man I'd admired for 5 years, who had jumped into my life at this very moment. Let's celebrate. Of course, there was one question I had never asked him. "Vincent, when did you actually start liking me?" From the photos on his computer, it was clear he had liked me for quite some time. Well, to get into that, it's quite a long story. I liked you from the moment you were my junior in college. But what I didn't expect was that you'd become friends with my niece Lucy. Vincent told me that the first time he saw me in college, he was smitten. Back then, he would wander around the campus with his camera. He often saw me at the cafeteria and took many beautiful photos of me, which he stored in his camera. But he hesitated to approach me too closely, fearing it would be too abrupt and that I wouldn't like him. It wasn't until New Year's Eve, when I video chatted with Lucy, that he felt like he had a chance. With the marriage certificate in hand, both of our parents were in a frenzy, rushing to organize the wedding. Meanwhile, Vincent and I were blissfully enjoying our time as a couple. In this moment, I finally realized just how amazing my husband, my former senior, really was. There wasn't a single problem I faced that he couldn't solve. Whether it was trivial household matters or complicated work relationships, anything that crossed his path was managed with impeccable clarity. My knees buckled in admiration, and from that point on, all my worshipful gazes were directed at him. Vincent, clearly reveling in the compliments, was always ready to tackle anything as long as I sweetly called him husband. Under his tireless guidance, I quickly grew capable of handling work on my own, and our home life became organized and efficient. He often lamented, "Teaching a disciple can lead to the master's downfall. Soon you won't even need me anymore." "How could that be?" I replied, beaming as I kissed his soft lips. "No matter how capable I become, it wouldn't be the same without my husband backing me up." "Really?" His eyes lit up, and I nodded with certainty. "Of course. As partners, we are one. With your support, I can soar even higher. Without him, I would still be aimlessly wandering through life. Perhaps I would have mustered the courage to confess my feelings, or perhaps I would have remained a coward, forever leaving me with a heart full of regrets. But with that one bold step he took, he gave me unparalleled courage and strength, culminating in this beautiful union. I believe that as long as we both invest our hearts into this relationship, our future will only get better. Together, we will grow old in happiness.